Looking to crush the sports books in NFL Week 14? Well, my friends, you've come to the right place. Stay tuned for my 6 favorite bets for this weekend. Welcome, football fans, to another edition of IDP Plus Bets. What is up, folks? I am your host, the DGen Doc. And we're back for another week, baby. NFL Week 14. The weeks are flying by, but the cash is stacking up, folks. Look, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, first off. Secondly, this is how this show goes. I've got 6 offensive props that I absolutely love for this weekend between Sunday and Monday. This episode, they're actually all on Sunday. But the way it'll go is the first bet is going to be the least odds, and then it's going to keep going up and increasing odds for each bet. I'll let you know, last bet, nice plus 350, and the lowest bet, plus 135. So all plus money bets, all guys that I absolutely love this weekend. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, folks, we're going to head over to this Carolina. We're going to head over to Philly, where the Panthers are coming to town. The Panthers that used to be a doormat of the NFL, still not anybody world beating, but they do look more competent. And I'm going to go with Adam Thielen, 50 plus receiving yards at a nice plus 135. Look, this is pretty simple, folks. Bryce Young looks like a competent NFL quarterback. Now, does he look like the number 1 overall talent that, he was picked at? Not quite, but there is clear improvement. He is getting more comfortable. The offensive line is protecting him a little bit better, and he's developing a nice relationship with Adam Thielen, where he's hit this number in 2 out of his past 2 games since he's came back from injury, and we've seen this new revitalized Bryce Young. You got an Eagles defense that, look, they're 12.5-point favorites. Everyone's expecting them to be leading. There's going to be some garbage time. The Panthers are going to have to throw the ball. That secondary, which has been good, it's been taking some injuries. They're very good up top, but once you start getting into some of those backups, it is a clear drop-off. We saw it with Isaiah Rodgers when Darius Slay was out. Now Slay is practicing off his concussion. We'll see. Concussions are tricky. And speaking of concussions, safety Reed Blankenship not practicing as of Thursday today. He is likely going to be out. So at least one backup, if not multiple, in that Eagles defense. I like Adam Thielen to pop over this 50-plus number at plus 135. Another wide receiver with the same line is Jaylen Waddle. Give me Jaylen Waddle, Mr. Waddle himself, 50-plus receiving yards at plus 135. Look, I just talked about the Carolina Panthers, a team that, despite their record, has not quit. Well, now the lowly New York Football Jets are traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And let's be honest, they have quit. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is more focused on his Netflix special and all these other things and, ayahuasca and whatever it may be, but football. And really one of the biggest things is cornerback Sauce Gardner dealing with a hamstring injury, not practicing. Very unlikely he plays. It would be a very dumb decision to play out 1 week off a hamstring injury. They have a high re-injury risk. They take at least 2 weeks in the best case to heal. So no Sauce Gardner. You got a defense that likely has no CJ Mosley. What are they playing for? The Dolphins still in the hunt, still an outside shot. They believe they can make the playoffs. We're not going to have to worry about weather. It's in Miami. Tua and the Dolphins, they got warmed up after they were in the blizzard and got embarrassed on national television on Thanksgiving. I think they come home and we see some fireworks. And like Jaylen Waddle, 50-plus receiving yards. I mean, if we were talking last year, a couple years ago, I mean, this line is very low. I know Tua was hurt and there was this and that, but I think this is an easy number for him to get over. He's hit this in the last 3 of 4 games. And again, no Sauce Gardner. So give me Jaylen Waddle, 50-plus receiving yards at plus 135. All right. Next up, we're going to a guy who has just been lighting it up these past few weeks. I mean, he's flown on the radar, but he can't fly on the radar anymore because it's Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, Tennessee Titans. They got the Jags coming to town there. And look, this is a guy who, amazingly, I'm sure you've heard, has scored like 8 or 9 touchdowns in the past 8 weeks. I mean, this guy has been absolutely lighting it up, finding the end zone. And he's been, cashing for people in the betting markets. He's been helping people in fantasy. But, I'm not going to go the anytime touchdown amount. It's around plus 190, plus 187 right now. It's getting a little bit too low for me. I'm going to go with his yards. I'm going to take his 50-plus yards at plus 180. Again, three guys to get 50-plus yards. It's very simple, all plus money. Westbrook Akine, he's hit this in 3 out of his last 5 games. He missed one of them by just 2 yards. As he's developed this connection with Will Levis, clearly he's finding the end zone almost every single week. He's obviously catching some balls, a lot of them deeper, and he's gotten over this number. Also, Jags' best cornerback, Tyson Campbell, dealing with a thigh injury. He did have a limited practice today. But again, another team, they don't have their quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. He's put on the IR. He's done for the season. Are they really going to play hard for Mac Jones? I think Tennessee, Will Levis, he's a guy who he's still trying to prove it for that franchise. He's still trying to show them, give them any glimmer of hope that, hey, you don't need to draft a quarterback. I can be the guy. Now, whether that happens or not, I'm not a lot less confident about that. But I am confident that Nick Westbrook-Akine gets 50-plus yards there at a plus 180. All right, folks. We're halfway through the show, which means water break. But more importantly, I got to tell you about some of the great things we got going over here on IDP Plus. We're talking subscriptions because if you want to get the full IDP Plus experience, you got to become a member. We got memberships of all different levels, and no matter what level you want to join, I got you a 20% off code with promo code PROPS. That's right, folks. Get access to our tools, data, IDP articles, and our subscriber Discord that only our subscribers get access to. I write an article every week that talks about the biggest injuries and how they affect your IDP fantasy football roster, how you can find some sleepers or what guys you should plug and play when you're in situations where, hey, my guy went down, or look, I can take advantage of this injury situation here. Also, IDP Plus, of course, we've got a deal with FanDuel, idpplus.com/FanDuel, $50 in bonus bets when you deposit $10. And we don't discriminate because we got one with DraftKings. idpplus.com/DraftKings, $50 in bonus bets when you deposit $50. All right, folks, let's get back into it. We're halfway through. We got 3 more, and we're getting up out of here. So next one I'm going for is a little bit of revenge. I'm taking the revenge angle because I'm taking Mr. Kirk Cousins to return home to Minnesota and light it up. 275 plus passing yards at plus 190. Look, this is a good matchup. Vikings, for as good of a defense as they've been giving up a decent amount of yards, almost 250 yards a game. This is a situation where one of their best cornerbacks since Stephon Gilmore is also dealing with a hamstring injury. Similar to what I said with Sauce Gardner. Not expect him to be out there. Expect him to be almost out for 2 weeks, right? Definitely not the week after. So you've got an injury situation. You've got the matchup situation. And you've got the revenge angle. I mean, Kirk Cousins loved Minnesota. Anybody who watched quarterback was clear to see. He's familiar playing in that dome setting, so we don't have to worry about weather in December. And it's Kirk Cousins, baby. I think he comes back. I think he lights that defense up through the air. Games that they won, games that they've lost, he's put up some yardage this year. So I like him to go over because when he has a good game, he really pops. All right, another guy who's been popping all over the place. My vote for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mr. Brock Bowers, Las Vegas Raiders tight end. Give me 90-plus receiving yards at plus 210. We got a couple things working for us here. We got a Bucs defense that is beat up. They're already very bad against the pass in general, but specifically against the tight end. They've had linebacker Servassier Dennis, who was one of the better covering linebackers earlier in the season. He's out for the season. You got his backup, KJ Britt, who's not good at coverage. He is dealing with an injury right now. You've got injuries all up and down that secondary. Safety Jordan Whitehead's going to miss multiple weeks. So it's a beat-up team. It's a team that has a hard time stopping the pass. And let's be honest, who else are the Raiders going to throw the ball to? Him and Aiden O'Connell have developed a nice relationship. He's hit this number in 2 out of the past 3 weeks. He's actually going over 100 yards in 2 out of that past 3 weeks there. So even if he takes down a little bit, I like him to get over the 90-plus at plus 210. He's hit it 5 times this season. And again, he's capable of doing this every week. It's just about finding the quarterback who's actually going to get him the ball. Aiden O'Connell has shown that he can do that. He showed it last week when he lit up a much better defense in the Kansas City Chiefs. So give me Brock Bowers, 90-plus receiving yards at plus 210. And our final one of the day, our official long shot, give me Mr. Alvin Kamara to do just that. That's right. But not do it once, to score a touchdown twice. Alvin Kamara, 2+ touchdowns at plus 350. That's right, folks. Look, I'm picking on my team. I am, unfortunately, this past, seemingly decade, I'm a New York Football Giants fan. I'm a diehard fan. I understand this team is absolutely cooked. They're done. Our best player on the entire team, Dexter Lawrence, just dislocated his elbow. He's out for the season. His running mate, big boy, run stopper, Nacho, Raheem Nuchez, he's out, or he's not practicing. He's considered week to week. Also, our best linebacker, Bobby Okereke, he is considered week to week and not practicing. That's 3 guys in the middle of that defense that is really the best part of our defense that are not going to be there. The floodgates are going to open. This is going to get ugly. And look, I know what you're saying. Typically, we have to worry about Taysom Hill being a vulture and taking those touchdowns. Unfortunately, Taysom Hill tore his ACL. He's out for the year. So it's going to be Alvin Kamara. It's going to be more Alvin Kamara and then a little bit more Alvin Kamara. We all remember Alvin Kamara's 5-6 touchdown game on Christmas. Look, I don't think he gets that high because my heart can only take so much watching that game, but I do think he finds the end zone at least twice. Plus 350 there. I understand it's a low price for 2 touchdowns, but I really think it is very likely. I think, unfortunately, the Saints put it on him. Fortunately for our draft capital in this tankathon that I've had to find myself in year after year, I think Alvin Kamara really, whether it's through the pass game or through the run game. That's why I also like this because he's obviously a very capable receiver out of the backfield with no Taysom Hill, with no Chris Olave. Derek Carr is likely going to throw him a lot of drop-offs. He can absolutely take one the distance. So give me Alvin Kamara, 2+ touchdowns at plus 350. All right, folks. I'm going to do a quick recap of the 6 bets that I absolutely love for NFL Week 14. And then I'm going to get up out of here. So we've got Carolina Panthers wide receiver Adam Thielen, 50+ receiving yards at plus 135. We've got Dolphins wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, 50+ receiving yards at plus 135. We've got Titans wide receiver Nick Westbrook Akine, 50+ receiving yards at plus 180. We've got Mr. Coco Chains, 275 plus passing yards at plus 190. We've got Brock Bowers, Vegas Raiders, tight end, 90+ receiving yards at plus 210. And we've got Alvin Kamara, 2+ touchdowns at a plus 350. All right, folks, that's the slate. That's how we are making our money this week. Look, folks, if you enjoyed the show, if you learned something, if you just enjoyed talking a little ball, then do us a favor. Drop us a like, drop us a subscription. We're a new channel, right? This is our first year. We're learning. Drop some feedback. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like. And ultimately, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I'll be back every week. If you want something in the live variety, every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 6:15, I'm going live breaking down the Thursday night football game. I'm talking injury analysis, game breakdown, and my best bets for the game. I just recorded the one for the Packers and the Lions, so if you catch this early and you want to check that out, go ahead. But I'll be back next week. Don't worry. All right, folks, from us here at IDP Plus Bet, we hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy some football and cash some bets.
Thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.